what was the significance of K-Day coming from New York, where everything generated in the genesis and creation of hip-hop culture, coming out here and hearing it on the radio all day, every day? Was that like, did you notice a big difference?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I still had the New York state of mind because I was fresh out of New York. So I still had this New York attitude about, well, I wasn't too cool with a lot of LA because of this mentality. I really didn't want to move out here.
Oh, okay.
It was because of my parents. Me and my brother moved out here.
Yeah,
so
he told me all about
Oh, yeah, oh, you know, of course you know. Yeah. So my brother was one of the mixed masters. I wasn't, he was. So when we all came in, we put a whole different feel into it. That's why a lot of people still to this day recognize and respect me and my brother as far as DJs, because we've been one of the first, you know, to do the scratching and everything and all the spinning around the turntables. We was the first one to do that, me and my brother. So, and it's a lot different from New York. New York, they do more talking and spinning. Like when Red and them was DJing back in the days, and when they was on Hot 97 and everything, they did some DJing with they did all the energy, the hype shit. You know, they was doing that too. So that's what made the difference between our DJs here were quiet. They wasn't really yelling. Like New York, yo, throw your hands in the air.
Because they were scratching so much out
scratching,
here.
Exactly. Scratching was overpowering the voice. So people would never grab no mic. If you notice, Egyptian would never grab no mic. No. Glove would never grab no mic. Bobcat never grabbed no mic, you know. So.
Well, that was one of the interesting things, because speaking of Bobcat, when you get to Bigger and Deffer in '87, also like with Ron Pays, his scratching was so much faster than everything else that was coming out of New York, it didn't have the same energy, the same feel, and that's because it was Bobcat from the West Coast.
Exactly. Bobcat made a big difference with LL outside of Creator. Creator was a little mellow, and Bob was the energy. He was the energized bunny of the group. Right. I felt bad when I heard that Z-Trip was DJ for LL as opposed to cut Creator or Bobcat, because it blew my mind for them to disappear like that.
Right.
But I mean, some people keep their DJs, some people don't.
Yes, that is true. Now, speaking of that, as you move on and with Ice-T getting into Power, Ron Pays blows up and does extremely well. But Power then does even better. Yes. So with that, what do you think the fundamental differences were between Ron Pays and Power to get it to the next level sales and popularity wise?
The album cover.
The cover?
The cover. Darlene was on the cover. Darlene made
the front and the back.
Front and back. They had a front back Darlene. I mean, I was kind of fly too, but I wasn't no Darlene, you know.
No,
I mean,
no offense. Sorry.
No problem. Taken, none taken. So, but yeah, the cover, people in New York blew me up, was talking about how bad the cover was. I said, yo, what's up with the music? What do you think about the music? Yo, E, I'm sorry, I love your music. The cover was bananas. So, I mean, the cover took it a long way, but the music of it, Power was more like talking about how life is as far as being in charge of things. That's what Power was about. It was more messenger. It was a bigger message than Ron Pays was. Yeah. It was a way bigger message. And then
I also think, talking to Ice about it several times over the years, but I also thought that Power had a lot more focus per se, because Ron Pays, there was like 7 different types of songs. It was not all over the place, but it was kind of stylistically all over the place, whereas Power was much more focused. So working on both albums and being around with Africa Islam and Ice, crafting that, what did you notice artistically? How did that end up happening, or why did it end up happening that way?
Well, it was all Ice's call. I mean, obviously he was the voice of it. Him and Islam put together in like a New York form. Because if you think about it, the tracks were more New York oriented. Yes. They were more funky, sampled, and as opposed to out here, they was playing the music. We would sample. So that made a big difference outside of what Ice was talking about, and took it to a whole nother level. But Islam was an interesting producer to work with too, but he made it happen, man. We both made it happen. Yeah.
And why do you think Ice and Islam work so well together?
Well, we met Islam in the Bronx a long time ago, and that's when Ice and him connected, and we rocked together so many times, the shows and everything, that Ice was like, we'll let Islam do the album because he had a household name. He was Africa Islam, son of Bam, and produced Bam, So Sonic and everything. So we said, well, you're our guy. Let's get in the studio and make it happen, you know. Plus, we was well connected with the Bronx, too, so with Melly Mel and all of them at the time.
That helps.
Yeah, that melts big time.
Okay.
The Furious Five, all of them, man. Yeah.
And with the evolution and the explosion, especially with Ice-T and LL in '87, even Dana Dane also in 1987, there started being a lot more solo artists, whereas before it was a lot more groups. So as you saw the evolution and the explosion of solo artists, how do you think that changed rap in the late '80s?
Well, solo artists never had a problem being solo artists. Groups always had problems. Groups break up like a relationship. And it's crazy, because either somebody's ego is bigger than the other one because they made it to the top and somebody want to be more up in the front instead of all of them equally want to be in the front. So solo, it was easy to work with because I pay attention. A lot of people don't pay attention to each other. That's why they break up. Rodney O, Joe Cooley, Love 'Em to Death, they broke up for a while. A lot of people, Houdini broke up before, what's his name, Ecstasy passed. It was just crazy to have a group that don't understand each other or money takes over. When money comes in any relationship, whether it be a solo or a group, it always messes up the whole situation. So I follow the lead of Ice. Ice is the point man. I follow the point man and keep it going from there. Yeah.
And then what was going on, fast forwarding and getting to now, how did you end up starting to do a musical project with Schoolie D?
Well, Chris set that up after we did the 100 Parker thing. Chris Knapp. And because of the show being so put together so tight, like we've been doing it, he just decided to throw it in my ear, was make an album. I said, with school, hell effing yeah. And myself, let's do it. I'm down for projects. Projects go a long way, man. Project is money. So I'm with all that, So that's how me and School got together to this day to do this second show we're doing and a lot more to come. So,
yes.
Yeah, man.
And with that, Schoolie produces and has produced himself so much. So how is that working with an artist that's so artistically advanced like Schoolie, but also working with them on a production level as well?
Well, we good together as long as we pay attention to each other. I pretty much got an idea of what Schoolie like, and if the ideas stick, then it's like a pizza. You put a pizza together, even if you have different degrees on different slices of everything, the whole pizza makes sense because it's one big whole pizza, and that's how me and Schoolie D, was able to put this project that we're about to do together, man. It's gonna be fun though. You know what I mean? I'm enjoying the ride.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, me and you both, man.
All right. Well, Evil, thanks so much for coming through to Unique Access, man. Anything else you want to add before you bounce?
Unique Access is the podcasters. Get on, get involved, check it out, stop playing with yourself. Evil, I'm out. Peace.